At this point, you've probably heard of Calorie and other AI calorie tracking apps. They're blowing up right now. I think Calorie is projected to make millions this year. Big influencers in the fitness space are promoting them, and this topic has already been talked about at length, so I'll keep this rant short. But one of the big problems that I have thought of since these things started popping up, specifically Calorie, the guys that started it are smart. They got in at a good time, and they saw like a definite need in the fitness space to innovate on something that I guess you could say isn't necessarily a problem, but definitely an inconvenience. If you've ever tried to track your calories, there's a lot of effort that goes into it. Weighing out your food, making sure that you have like one of these calorie tracking apps. There's, a couple things that go into it that kind of puts people off. AI calorie tracking apps, the idea is to eliminate some of those barriers and make it super easy and almost excuse proof, which in theory sounds great. The problem is, as some of you may have guessed, it's wildly inaccurate. And there are tons of short form content from various different creators that I've seen. One of them is popping up. I don't know the creator's name. But basically, there's a video of this guy that sneaks a full-size chocolate bar into a sandwich and takes a picture before and after of the sandwich with the Calorie, and it shows the sandwich being the same amount of calories. I think it's 2 calories difference. The one with the chocolate bar surprisingly has 2 calories more. So, maybe it was just a really low calorie chocolate bar, but I don't think so. So in concept, these products sound really great, but there's no way that they are properly tracking the nutrients that you're putting into this food. I guess the first point that I would, really hone in on, I tried to be very optimistic, and I'm rooting for them, because if they could figure this out, that would be really great. I don't at the moment see how they will sort this issue out. First of all, to my knowledge, getting started, this is like a ChatGPT wrapper, which is totally fine. I think a lot of products that will eventually become big businesses will start out as wrappers of some sort, whether it's ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini or something else. The problem is, let me backtrack. That's all fine. My optimistic take was that eventually, once they got enough money, they would start investing in in-house models, in-house data, and start, training their models on like very specific things to what it is they're trying to do with, Calorie and some of these other products. That to me sounds great, but it doesn't really overcome the fact that you're never really going to be able to fully get a good idea of how much, fat or carbohydrates or protein are in, whatever serving size you gave yourself for like your sauce in your sandwich, or the sauce that you added into your Chipotle bowl, or whatever it is. Or the chocolate bar snuck into a sandwich. So these things are, have an inherent flaw to them that, there wasn't a problem before and now there is. The one thing that I could say to combat this in their favor is that maybe Calorie and these other AI calorie tracking apps, photo apps, I guess, is they're not meant to completely replace calorie tracking, but they're meant to support it, which sounds good in theory, but I think it almost makes more work if you are already trying to track your calories. For example, if you, take a picture of your sandwich, it lists, you've got lettuce, tomato, if it can see the lettuce and tomato, the turkey, and the bread. Okay, well, it doesn't have the mayo. Okay, you can add the mayo on there. But then say it doesn't have the right turkey breast on there or whatever you put in. And so you got to change that. And then some things just kind of, you have to keep tweaking little things here and there. And then it almost just becomes like you're still doing the same amount of work. It's just like different work. Now you're editing the content instead of just writing it out fresh. So I don't really know how much of a benefit these things are really providing. And I don't really know yet how they're going to overcome those things. So I guess that's problem number one. And now problem number two is the fact that they have just like hardcore marketed this like crazy, which is obviously markets move fast. They're moving faster than ever now, especially now that anybody can code things or, you know, spin up MVPs of products, which means you have to not only put out a product really quickly, but you also have to turn on the marketing machine. And what Calorie has done brilliantly, and I don't know about so many of these other companies, is they have just gotten some of the biggest influencers in the space to market this product. I think it was Kai Green, professional bodybuilder that I saw that was promoting Calorie, and I'm sure there were other professional bodybuilders doing the same. And I guess I don't want to say disappointed because it's like I'm just some guy for now anyways, but you know, I guess even, you know, when like as I grow, I'd still hold the same opinion. It's weird to say disappointed that somebody would promote that sort of thing. I guess it is kind of someone like Kai Green and some of these other bodybuilders that are promoting this sort of thing. It's like they know better. They would never use this as like their portion tracker for, you know, when they're getting ready for their shows or whatever. So it is a little surprising to see them do that. Obviously, like if you've ever seen Noel Dezel, and then there's been a couple of other fitness creators that have come out about it, that some of these companies are offering crazy brand deals. So I think if you need the money, or if like the money is just that good and you got to take it, then I guess it makes sense why they take it, but it's kind of dishonest. And especially when it's kind of like an appeal to authority sort of problem where these people hold a position of power and I guess authority in the sense that I personally would trust Kai Green, if he were to promote something. I'm not necessarily saying I'm going to buy it because I'd say I'm kind of a bad consumer in that regard. But if Kai Green tells me like this is a supplement that you should take, or like this is the way that you should lift, you know, do this sort of exercise, I would listen to him without probably verifying, which is a problem on my part, I know, and I'm working on that. But there is that sort of trust that you get when you are an elite competitor like that. Same goes with guys like Noel Dezel, who explained, I think, on Instagram why he denied accepting the brand deal and stuff. And I mean, that guy has a ton of integrity, and plus he's got I guess he's got a ton to lose too. I mean, he's proven to be pretty honest. He's got, you know, such a loving fan base, and he's like the co-founder of Rise. So a lot to throw away over, I assume for him, probably tens of thousands of dollars, which is crazy to say. But super cool that he stayed honest about it. Anyways, I'm getting kind of ahead of myself, or, you know, away from the core point of this yap sesh. But I guess all I'm really trying to say is, would I trust Calorie and some of these other calorie tracking apps? Nothing against Calorie specifically, though they did just, you know, really go hard on the guerrilla marketing and just, they did that really well. They did it in a savage way. I think that it's unfortunately just not a good product, and I don't think that you should use it if you really want to get serious about tracking your calories. There's like MyFitnessPal, which is free. You could download that. I'm sure there's others out there that are good. But yeah, I would check one of those out before using a AI fitness app. Unfortunately, it sounds too good to be true. It is too good to be true, but maybe in the future, we'll see, you know, some improvements in how they market it, how they show the intended use, and maybe the models that come out in the future make it so that you can actually just take a photo of your sandwich and it can analyze the amount of mayo and, you know, whatever else you're putting on your sub. Anywho, that's it.